Hi guys, it's Fiverr. For this week's video, we're going to be painting some rainbow cereal treat goblins to celebrate Pride Month. Let's get to it. Alright, so forewarning, my cat was messing with the cable while trying to record this, so I did lose some of the footage, but we just start by base coating the goblin with Army Painter's Drake Tooth, and then going in with Army Painter's Ice Storm to bring out some of the more prominent areas for highlights. This is to kind of mimic the marshmallow color you would get in a cereal treat. So the body of the goblin is going to be the marshmallow, and then his clothes are going to be the cereal. And then for each goblin in the Zarbag's Gitz pack, I'm doing a different color on the hood. Shout out to my friend Jesse, who helped me track down one of these boxes because they're pretty sold out most places. For Zarbag here, I decided to go with red. So just paint the hood and a few of the kind of underclothy things red. And then once that's painted, your next step is to paint the rest of the clothes. I went with green for the undercoat just because that's the opposite of red on the color wheel, so we're just starting with green, but it's going to look a lot different in the end. Once the green is on there, you're going to start spotting on your first color. We're going to be building up layer by layer of these colors, which will eventually give us the Rice Krispie treat effect we are after. So the first one I started with is blue. I used kind of a turquoisey blue, but you can use whatever you've got, and just dabble that all around. Next up, I did the same exact thing with a yellow color, trying not to hit the exact same areas or the exact same pattern, but just building up more and more dots on the cloak. And then the next color I went in with was orange. This is my old favorite Tau Ochre Light Orange, which has somehow gotten into all of my videos at this point. But I just kind of compared the colors that I had to a picture of the cereal I was trying to replicate online and found the closest matches. So just dabble that all over again, just kind of trying not to hit the exact same area, but building up the colors. And then I did go in with pink, but due to Hector the cat messing with the wires, I was not able to record that. He kept knocking things over. And then red was after that. Again, just building up those layers. I used the same red as I had on the hood to kind of keep the color looking balanced. Next up was purple. Dabbed that all over. That was Xeris purple, I believe, but again, whatever you have that's closest works. And that is going to be our final layer of Rice Krispie treat goodness on that coat, and you can see that it does pretty much resemble the cereal. So next up, it's just going to be painting all of his accessories. I went in with a light brown and did the wood on his staff. And then I chose a silver to do the blade, the kettle, his little lantern thingy, and all the other metal bits. I went in with a gray to hit some of the pouches. Then I wanted a little bit more detail for the metal, so I took a sponge and I dipped it in some copper paint and sponged off most of it, but left just a little, similar to how you would do a dry brush. And I just sort of speckled that wherever I thought would look good, kind of not really mimicking any highlights or lowlights, just dabbling it all around to get kind of a weathered effect. And then I went in with a light green and painted the little fairy he has caught in his lantern. I did also do a dry brush on the tips of it to kind of make them stand out more, but that footage was also lost due to cat-related technical difficulties. I did go in and paint the little mushrooms in his pot, and then the little other details in there, like the skull and the bones, I thought would be funny if they were made out of chocolate, so I painted them brown. I went in and did the straps and the ropes in red to, again, just sort of bring that color more throughout so that he will definitely look like the red one when we have all of the goblins lined up for a rainbow effect. Then it was time to do the eyes, just white and dot of black. Takes a little bit of concentration and it's not easy to record, but I did my best. Then after that it was time for the washes. I put some Nuln oil on all over the silver and copper parts, and then after that I put Seraphim Sepia over the rest. He's looking pretty good now, about where I want him to be. I didn't want him to be super bright, because the goblins do live in caves and stuff, so I made sure that I dulled those bright colors down. But I did want to bring them up just a little bit with some highlights, so I went in with my original red, added that back into the cloak and the hood and some other places. And then with the skin, I went in with drake tooth and did a highlight on some of the more prominent areas. And then the last step was to use Kislev flesh and just dot side of the drake tooth highlights, just give it a little bit more of a boost. And then your cereal treat pride goblin is all done, and he can go hang out with his rainbow friends. So that's it for this week's video. Thanks so much for watching. I am going to try and do a basing tutorial next week so you can see how I did the candy bases for the goblins. I hope you guys will stick around. Thank you so much. Happy Pride!